Hi friends, this is Denario Research and welcome to the part number 4 of XRP Telegram bot tutorial. In the previous video we began implementation of the deposit function, and now you know how to generate destination tag. Today you will learn how to process this deposit. We already discussed before that user has only 15 minutes to make deposit, and if he fails to do so within this time interval, deposit process will be cancelled due to timeout. So firstly, we have to create some sort of temporary loop, and inside of this loop we will constantly check whether deposit is done or not. So let's begin with setInterval function. Let's create a variable and call it check deposit status, and it equals to setInterval. Here we'll have certain function with callback, and we'll check this interval every 1 second. Okay, in order to make this temporary loop last for only 15 minutes, let's create another variable and call it attempts. Attempts. It would be equal to 0. And if attempts is less than 900, which means 900 seconds, we'll perform our check and we'll increment attempts variable. So every second its value will be getting bigger and bigger. Else, if our 15 minutes time interval has expired, we'll cancel this interval function with clear interval loop, clear interval check deposits status, and we'll send notification to user that deposit was cancelled due to timeout. So ctx reply and this text, deposit was cancelled due to timeout. Okay, but how do we check incoming deposit? Ripple API has this getTransaction function. It is a beautiful function with only one parameter, which is mandatory address. We already have this address, and it also has multiple optional parameters. One of them is min ledger version. Despite this parameter is optional, in the previous versions of Ripple API, this function getTransactions returned error without this parameter. I didn't work with current version of Ripple API, so let's try without min ledger version, and if we get an error, I'll show you how to implement and add this min ledger version. Here is example of the output. We'll have similar array of JSON objects, and if destination tag inside of this transaction matches with destination tag that was generated for user, we'll create certain amount of XRPs to user's account. But firstly, we have to connect to Ripple servers. We can begin with this boilerplate, copy this code snippet, paste it, and then add it. But since we work with XRP test network, we cannot use mainnet server. Instead of it, we have to use server from the test network. Here it is. So let's copy its address and paste in our code. Okay, we have updated server address, and now we can connect to XRP Ledger. We'll do this here before we make any attempts to check transaction. API.connect. Then we have a callback which we need to implement. Inside of this callback, I want to paste all our code regarding testing, checking transaction, and also we have to catch errors. So let's catch, and console error. Okay, good. Now it's time for get transactions function. API.get transactions. We have to provide XRP address. Here it is, saved in config file. Then we have data in the callback, and let's implement this callback. So what I want to do is to print this data and see how transaction looks like. For element of data, console log element. Okay, let's save this code and test incoming transaction. I have already launched the bot and switched to Telegram. So it's time to make deposit. Let's type deposit. Okay, here we have wallet address and destination tag. So let's try to send some XRPs here. But unfortunately, as I predicted, we have missing ledger history error. So what is the reason of this error? Our function getTransactions takes certain range of ledgers and looks inside of every particular ledger whether it has something interesting for us, incoming transaction that matches our address. But unfortunately, this testnet server does not store all information about ledgers we need. That is why we have this error. And that is why we need to implement min ledger version parameter in order to avoid this error and give some starting point for our search. Our min ledger version value will be equal to current ledger version. And we can get current ledger version value with getLedgerVersion function. It has very simple output as you see. So let's use it. So let's wrap this getTransaction function with following: API getLedgerVersion. Then we have callback with ledger version value, ledger version, and let's put it inside of this callback. Oops. And here we'll provide min ledger version parameter. Min ledger version equals to ledger version. Okay, let's save code and repeat everything. But I need to fix this typo. Instead of ledger. Okay, great. And let's try to make deposit one more time. Deposit. And here is our destination tag. Let's copy it and send some XRPs here. So this time we do not have any errors. We have connected to Ripple server, and let's send XRP node test send. This is custom built XRP sender. So I'll show you how to create it next in one of the next video, but now let's just use it. It is sending, and here is our transaction. This is payment transaction. Here is source address, transaction ID, source address again, transaction status successful, timestamp, and destination address and destination tag which was generated for our user, transaction currency XRP, and transaction value 20 XRPs. Great! Finally, we are able to match tags. Let's remove this and type if element specification destination destination dot tag matches our tag. That means this user has sent some deposit. So firstly, what we need to do is to cancel this interval. We can copy this clear interval function here. Save transaction information to database and credit deposit amount to user account. But we'll do this in the next video. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want more videos, and leave your questions in the comment section below. Bye!